Hi everyone, my name is Oliver Lead and today I am going to talk to you about distracted driving. So how many of you guys have used a phone whilst you've been driving? Okay, so yeah, there's a couple of you. So it's a known issue that's on the road and many people don't believe it doesn't affect them at all because they're really good drivers or they've never had an accident or been pulled over or because they don't actually use their phone whilst they're driving. But it can affect everyone, even if you don't know it yet. I'm guilty of doing it too, so nearly everyone does it through texting or Bluetooth or on the phone, web browsing. Anyone can do it, even if you're just doing it at your red light. It's still distracted driving. So a lot of people have the misconception that it doesn't affect them because they are a good driver. So Peg Rosen tells us in her Good Housekeeping book that people can only see 50% of what's in front of them when they're using their cell phones. So even if you're just glancing down at it and you can see in your peripheral vision, you're missing out on 50% of what's on front of you. And hands-free talking, even if you don't have it in your hand, still quadruples the risk of injury due to a crash. A lot of people also say, well, I only take my eyes off the road for a second to look down at my text, but actually it takes about 4.6 seconds on average when your eyes leave the road and when you send or receive a text behind the wheel. Now, at 55 miles an hour, you'll zoom the entire length of a football field in that time. So it's quite a long way. And another misconception is, well, at least I'm better than drunk drivers. Well, any kind of phone use whilst you're driving is actually very comparable to it. It's comparable to driving at a 0.08 blood level of alcohol, which is the same as the legal limit. So actually, you're just as bad. And 1 in every 3 collisions is estimated to be linked to cell phone usage. So it's quite high level. So here it says we've never had an accident or a ticket. Another misconception. So Jerry Cook and Randall Jones say in a document, Traffic Injury Prevention, that essentially driving is like flipping a coin. Your chance of a crash is about 50%. Whether you're distracted or not is about 50%. If you text and drive, it goes up to 90%, which is a massive jump. So I actually have a little graph here that I'm just going to pull up. Okay, there we go. So here's the graph just here. So this is if you were to never use your cell phone while you were driving. But actually, as you go through a couple times a month, a couple times a week, and then a couple times a day, it increases from that 50 right the way up to 90%. So it's almost a double increase. So I suppose the real question is, why do people still take that risk? Well, we've been conditioned by society today through Facebook, Twitter, things like that, to feel happy when we get a text message or a tweet or a like on Facebook. We think, oh, that's really good, it makes you feel good. That's why people want to go and get their phone whilst they're driving. But why would you take that risk when it could cause an injury, it could take your life, it could cause a crash? It's not really worth it. So another misconception is I've never, used my phone whilst driving. So I actually have a little video here to show you, and just so you know, it is a little bit distressing. So if you're a little bit squeamish or something, you can look away. But I'm just going to pull it up and we'll have a quick watch. So that's just a video just to emphasize just how dangerous it can actually be to text and drive. She only looked away for a couple seconds and that still happened to her. So my question to you is, even though you might not actually use your phone, what if that was someone you knew? What if it was a family member? What if it was a friend? What if it was someone else who was driving dangerously like that whilst looking at their phone and you were in the other car that they hit? What if it was a case of, the reward for you checking your phone is you think so high, but the risk is 10 times higher, way, way higher. So you don't have to be doing it for it to actually affect you. It affects everyone. So, in summary, now that I've shown you all of these information and facts, I want to leave you with 3 final things. That it's essentially the same as driving drunk, is one of the facts we found out today. Another one is that it's like flipping a coin, goes from 50% up to 90% if you're driving distracted, and it affects absolutely everyone. So now that you know how dangerous it can be to drive dangerously and to drive distracted, I want all of you to just throw your phones in the trash can right there. You can all just go ahead and do that right now. I can see that none of you are going to do that. So if you won't get rid of your mobile phone, at least don't use it while you're driving. Thank you.
Good job. Good job. I had no idea.